Yo, back with yet another Unity Graph Toolkit stream. I think we're progressing in a nice and steady pace. Every stream we're making progress, so I'm happy with that. Yesterday, we did a little extend rework to be able to support these two things. So we want to be able to support nodes that does something like this, basically. They can output more than one thing, and more specifically, they can output more than one thing of the same type. And while we were doing this, we also fixed so it can input multiple stuff of the same type or different types. And that's going to be very, very useful. But before we commit this solution, I want to put it to the test. We have already tested it with the original graph, and it works. But I want to introduce these types of graphs, which returns 2, and see if it still works. And to test this, we're going to continue implementing some of the nodes we have here. I think we actually finished the dynamic mesh slicer yesterday. We're going to double check. But when that one is done, we're going to implement the add child node. And when we have those two, we will be able to slice a mesh, get 2 different meshes, put one of them as a child on the other one, and then continue through this graph. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's check if Dynamic Mesh Slicer Editor node actually is implemented. Or the editor node is, but is the runtime node. We have one thing we're going to do here as well, which we haven't done, which I just remembered. But let's take a look at this runtime node. It takes a slice plane origo, slice plane normal, and a fill bool. Creates a slice plane like this, which is just a plane. And then I want to do this. So, is compatible with connection. So the connection is the input, so the input needs to be able to, like, whatever the connection we input to this node needs to be able to output a dynamic mesh. And this one outputs a dynamic mesh on index 0 and 1. And then we have it here. How it's actually done, and it's just, we try to get the input. If we don't get it, we return false. If we get it, we slice it. And depending on output index here, we return the 2 results. But, okay, so 2 things. Dynamic Mesh Slicer Editor node, we need to implement 2 runtime node here. Straightforward. And secondly, we had an issue with, so the cache solution we have is currently here. So the cache is filled up in try get output on generation runtime node, so the base class. We're gonna have to move this one to the subclasses, I think, because in Dynamic Mesh Slice runtime node, when we calculate this once, we actually calculated 2 different parts. But we want to put them both in the cache at the same time, right? Yo, what's up, Apukas? Great tip with the resource channel as well. Appreciate it. It should be up and running now. Okay, so let's take it one step at a time. We're gonna start with the slice editor node because this one is the easiest one. Apukas, how are you doing today, sir? I'm doing good. Just getting started, you know. Already done my exercise for today. Did some prior work previously, so now it's like 100% game dev for the next 3 hours. So it feels good, you know. How about you? So here we want to return a node, but we want to take the input here. So we need to read the input, create the new node, and return it. That's about it. It's pretty easy. We have done it multiple times previously. I'm just gonna check. I think we do it in dynamic mesh generator. Here, yeah, we try and get some values here. So let's just do this. So we want a vector3 boolean. Let's change this one to slice plain origo, slice plain normal. Yo, what's up, Harukanan? Good morning, good morning. And then we can add one more, which is going to be fill. Oops. Okay, yeah, we don't get this one because we have done. Okay. And we're going to change this one and this one to vector3. We want to do it here as well. And we want to change the internal names as well. We want to change this to bool. And then we have, don't we have, yeah, we have the fill here. I think that's it, isn't it? Get node option by name, try get value. I think that's it. Apukas, oh hell yeah, what type of exercise you're doing in the morning? I'm usually doing after work, and I'm good, thanks. I try to vary my exercise quite a lot. I lift weights at home 2 times a week, and then I try to swim 2 times a week. And lately I've been trying to run at least 1 time a week. And I tried to do it in the afternoons previously, but like exercising in the afternoons or early morning for me is fucked. I can't do it. I have like 0 motivation. But I've found a time slot at around 8:30, which is perfect for me. What about you? What exercise do you usually do, Apukas? And Apukas got a freelance project to model an old house. Texturing part is annoying, to be honest. Modeling an old house sounds extremely fun, actually. Texturing, like, I have like 0 experience when it comes to texturing, so I don't know exactly what you do. So I'm gonna trust you on the annoying part. Okay, here's the thing. what I want to do here eventually is to create the plane here when we have introduced shapes to the graph system. But for now, what we're going to do is dynamic mesh slicer, runtime node, slice plane origo, slice plane normal, and fill. And that's about it. Okay, so that's one task, the first one. The second one was to move the cache, the setting of the cache. Fuck, I remember having one more task. What was it? Oh well, we will get to it. We'll probably notice it. Let's just see if we have any issues here. We do. Oh yeah. Forgot a little bit of a new. Apokas, do you go to public swimming pool for swim, and how much does it cost? Yes, I do. It's a gym pretty close to me. I think like 700 meters, 800 meters maybe. Let's just call it 1 kilometer. And it's 300 Swedish crowns per month for, yeah, unlimited times in the pool pretty much. So I don't know what that is in euros. I want to say 26, 28 euros maybe a month. Focus at the current apartment, I do not have the weights, using rubber bands for various exercises like doing deadlift, but with rubber standing on it. Oh yeah, I know. Working only with the body weight is already enough. Yeah, I love the hype around calisthenics, like doing chins and stuff like that, because it's a very good way to exercise. But like, I'm pretty new to swimming, and it was a long time since I've found exercise to be that fun. Like, swimming to me is extremely fun. And I don't do it for endurance. I try to swim for speed, or train for speed. So let's see if I can find the correct word here. When I swim, I'm not finding the correct word now, but like I swim as fast as I can and then rest, and then as fast as I can and rest. Extremely fun, actually. Okay, so now we don't have any more errors here. Okay, before we can test this one, we need to implement add child. So that's what we're going to do. Although I have no idea what type of node this should be. Alter, converters, generators, setters, maybe. Or... And if I recall correctly, we don't use this one, so let's remove it. It's probably a setter. I think we're gonna call it set child, actually. Or set parent, set child, add child. We set parent, but we add child. But I don't think I want to have... I don't know if I want a set parent node. Or maybe I do. Nah, I want it to be add child, but... yeah, we're gonna add it to here. Add child runtime node. Poker sounds interesting. I was checking my local area where to go to swim. The prices is a bit bloated. The cheapest I found is 500 euros for a year with the ability to go in the evening. Thinking I might start to go as well. Yeah, that was what I was thinking I was going to have to pay, and I was probably going to be okay with it. It's a pretty nice thing to have access to a swimming pool, actually. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. And I mean, it's supposed to be extremely good for the body. Like, it's pretty much a full body workout with close to zero risk of injury, right? I guess it's always depends on how you do it. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. Maybe like try 1 month first, if that's an option. But I like, for me as well, there's just like at certain times I've found some time slots where the swimming pool is pretty much empty, but a lot of the time it's very crowded. Especially in the afternoons, you know, after work. So I could never go at that time. Add a child runtime node, and then we want to have a add child editor node. Harukanen, what's up? Welcome to YouTube. I have 300 meters to a water park with all the training stuff. Never been there. God damn. You should go. So you can basically see it from your window. Almost. Add child editor node, and we don't want any settings here. We want 2 input ports and 1 output port. It's going to be game object for all of them. And we can't rely on game object here. We can do it here though. So here we're going to do game object internal name, but here we need a couple of strings. So we're going to call it game object parent and child. like this, and then we have an output here, and I think that's pretty much it for this one. Oh yeah, we want to remove this one. Harukan, and I measured now and it's 240 meters. God damn. Add child editor node, and yeah, we have the option. I wonder if you can disable the option to show these. Let's take a look. Why not? I guess that would be node or maybe graph. Let's see here, properties. Or I guess it would be on get, let's see here. I guess that would be when we do add input port, so it would be context. Yeah, what's up, Nexus? Context, where do we have our context? iPort definition context. Yeah, we want to check the builder. Is it this one then? Methods. Inherited members, delayed build with display name with connector UI. I would have guessed it was around here. We will Google it. Nexus, how are you doing on this fine day? I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. How about you? Arukanan, I also bike past it when going to the office. Now it's just rage bait. Plain and simple. Nexus, I'm good, working on my own stuff. Nice, nice. What are you working on, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, maybe undefined ports. Okay, what would I even search for here? Unity graph toolkit hide input field on node. Okay, we don't have access to all of the stuff yet, but so I guess I'm gonna have to continue without it for now. Hide field. We have something like this. Nexus email server stuff. Never done myself. Is it good, or is it more like Harukanan's experience with it? Whoa, whoa, whoa. One sec. We want to do this search. Search in this topic. Hide field. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to add this one as the task here. Hide field inputs. Nexus, what I'm meaning is, are you having fun with it? Or is it tedious? The email server work. Hide field inputs. Certain nodes. Add child. Nexus, yeah, it's fun, but I'm built different. Okay, nice to hear, nice to hear. Okay, so let's skip these for now. We're just gonna have to live with it. Now we need to implement the editor node for this one, or the runtime node, and then we can finally test it. That's pretty cool. I'm actually having a really good time working with Graph Toolkit. I think it's overall very fun, even if it is pretty bare bones so far. But I'm okay with it. Add child runtime node. And we just want 2 game objects here. And we output a game object, so this one is good. We want to get 2 game objects, so we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna rename this one. I can never decide if I want my variables to be named game object parent, or if I'm gonna use a prefix or a suffix to be specific. Game object parent. Oops. Nah, fuck. It's so much nicer if we have it as parent game object and child game object. We try and get input, and we return the parent game object, so that's good. And then what we're actually doing in this node is something as simple as this. Parent game object dot transform add. Maybe it's better to do it like this. Child game object transform dot set parent parent game object. And this one actually makes me wonder if we want to add world position stays, and I think we do. So we're gonna add a constructor here. World position stays, which is equal to, what is the default for this one? I think it's true, isn't it? Let's do false. Parent game object, world position stays. And we need to do transform here. Okay, that's it. So we need to edit, we need to add an option to the editor node. Oh, one sec. Undefined ports, yes. Undefined options. Do we do options before ports? Yeah. And we want to add a bool. Whoa, 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 display name. That's more like a tooltip game. Actually, keep child position. But then the tooltip is whatever. And then we need this one here, so we're gonna fetch it by doing this. And then we return whoa, 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 whoa. Did I fuck this one up? Yes, I did. God damn it. Oh, okay. This sucks. Here we go. Add child runtime node. Okay, let's try this then. So this one is, we don't need this one anymore. We don't want this one anymore. And then we do this. And like this. So what we can do here is we create a dynamic mesh generator. We're gonna add the proper setup here. So it's gonna be a cube with a size of 1 like this. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna slice this one. We're gonna do a slice plane that is set 0.2 offset on the Z, and we want it to have a negative normal like this, and we want to fill. So dynamic mesh generator editor node, create a cube, then we slice it so we get 2. 1. So the left part is going to be the positive dynamic mesh here because it's on the correct side of the normal. And that's the one we're going to put out here. So what we do then is we instantiate an empty game object, makes this dynamic mesh into a mesh. We set the mesh on the game object, and we set the material of the game object, and then we make it into a creature. But what I want to add here as well is I want to duplicate this one and this one. So we take the negative, make it into a mesh here, set mesh, we have an editor node here, like this. We're gonna have this game object and this material. Wonder how this, it should be okay. And then we take, this one is going to be the parent object. This one is going to be the child object. It's this one we return. So I'm going to save it soon and pray that it works. But basically, we generate a cube, we slice the cube, we create 2 game objects and set each separate slice result as the mesh, right? We add the same material to them, and then we take the negative slice result and add it as a child to the positive slice result, and then we make it into a creature. Let's see if we get any errors here. We do. Sad. $31. Okay, fuck. Ooh, could it be? Could it be? Let's see here. Dynamic mesh slicer. This one returns the correct one. This one returns the correct one. Okay, so what might it be? Yes, okay, I think I know. Or do I? Okay, we need a little bit better logs again. I wonder why. Did I remove them? We return input index here. What I'm afraid of is that this one isn't instantiated when we want it. Yep, I'm pretty sure. So I think we're going this one, 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 this one. Then we go back, and then we go to this one. And then we can't do this because we haven't instantiated this one, and that's the error we get. I want to make sure this is the case, so let's add some more logging. I'm pretty sure we need to do a breadth first here. We need to go this one, then this one, then this one. Then this one, this one, this one, then this one. Okay. I think that will pretty much solve our issue. One sec. Do we not? This one, yeah. Yeah, let's print some stuff and see what happens. I don't want to log this anymore, but we want to log to runtime node. Setting up okay. Setting up output to input of node. Oops. And then it's not runtime, it's next, not next editor, this one. Setting up outputs, and then setting up output to input of node. And then we want a fail here. Failed setting up output. This might fail though, so we're just gonna do this. Now we should have a much better log than what we're seeing here. Okay, let's follow this. One sec. Okay. Setting up game creatures generation. Okay, game object to creature runtime node. Outputs. This one doesn't have any outputs. Then we're setting out this output, and then we have setting up output 0 to input 0, 0. Did I fuck up? Yes, I did. You know what? We hadn't really gotten that far, so I'm just gonna fix that, and then we can continue. Yes, setting up add child runtime node. Setting up output 0 to input 0 of node. Yes, that's correct. Yo, what's up, first world problem? I've been following for a while, appreciate it. And I stop in once in a while. You're always deep in code, but I don't think I've ever seen how far into the game you are. Not that far, honestly. You can check some clips on my YouTube, which should give you a little bit of a pointer, a little bit of a better pointer at least. Okay, setting up set material runtime node output. So it's this one, I think. But we should really need some IDs here. Hey, look at this. So here we're actually doing, then we're doing this one. 0 to 1. Then we're doing this one, I think. 0, 0, set material. Oops. And then we're doing this one. And this is where we fail. Okay. Did I fuck up? You, one sec. Maybe I've fucked up one thing here. But setting up output 0 to input 1 of node. This is where we fail. And we should be able to do this. So one sec. So for some reason we fail here. Okay, so something with the connection is wrong, that's for sure. Add input. Setting up output 0 to input 1 of node set material. It's this one, right? Or fuck, is it this one? But that should be okay. Also, have we instantiated this one? Yes, we have. So this one is instantiated. And we know that this one worked yesterday. So what's up? What's up? What's up? Does it really fail here? That's weird. So if input index is less than input count, shouldn't it be bigger than or equal? So if input index is bigger or equal than input count, then we fix the capacity. But what the fuck? Have I done something today? Because this worked yesterday. Let's take a look if this works. Whoa, 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 what am I missing here? Index must be within the bounds of the list. Parameter name index. So it's this one, right? Yeah. But we add to the capacity here, but is that not enough? I hate this capacity thing. List C# capacity. So we're telling it this list is going to need this much memory. But are we able to insert? Is my question. Is learn.microsoft down? No. Okay. Gets or sets the total number of elements the internal data structure can hold without resizing. Okay, but maybe we need to call a resize after. What happens if we do... ensure capacity? Okay. Hmm. And the reason why we are getting an error now is because we're trying to set this one before this one. That's my guess, at least. You know what? I'm wondering if... should we just change this one to... a dictionary? I'm gonna try a thing. Let's do inputs is equal to we don't have any node with more than 4 outputs or inputs. We don't have a node with more than 2 outputs or inputs, I don't think. So 2 would have been enough. But let's just see if we can build it this time around. Yeah, we can. Okay. Capacity, capacity, capacity. Because basically what I want to do here is I want to set the list to be of a specific size. But you know what? You know what? We're gonna be... there's really no reason to... there's really no reason at all to be this generic with the inputs list. So we're just gonna set it to a specific size. So yeah, it's overkill to have a dictionary here. But what I mean, in each constructor for the runtime node, we can set the input size, basically, and instantiate it the correct size. And maybe that's better. Set mesh runtime node. So basically inputs is equal to new list connection. But why not? But that's one more thing to... what we can do instead is... we're gonna do like this instead. Repeat. I think I have a to-do somewhere. Don't know where I put it, but we want to be a little bit more specific with this. I think... Did I put that to-do here? So we can work with this later on, but for now we're just gonna do public int input count get. And then we do inputs is equal to true. Connection. Like this. Yo, what's up, Coder Cube? Typically I'm first, but I'm still here to yap. Appreciate it. And I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. So we do it like this, then we need to define this for all of them, but that should be pretty straightforward. Override 2, right? Two. And this one we are done with. 0. 0. Okay. So we do it like this, and is start node return input count is equal to 0. Okay, so now we instantiate the number of inputs we have on construction or instantiation, and we should probably not get this issue anymore. CodeCube, I was editing before I got here, making a long form on the voxel ray marcher. Love to hear it, love to hear it. Fuck yeah, just send me a link and I will take a look. I'm kind of half shamelessly stealing your editing style though. That's no problem. We inspire each other, you know. Humankind wouldn't be the same if we weren't allowed to be inspired by each other. Okay, so now we can generate this one. That's beautiful. Love it. Do I dare test this now? Feels a little bit slow already. Let's clear it and let's... Fuck. Set mesh runtime output. Okay, let's follow this chain and see what happens, okay? Here, I think it's because we don't... Here we do depth first, and I think that screws us. So we do this one, then we try this one, then this one, then this one, and this one. And we generate it, and then we do this one, this one, this one, then we generate it, then we generate this one, generating this one, generating this one, generating this one, and then we run this one. Then it's time for this one, but it should be okay, shouldn't it? Then we go back to this one, we do this one, we generate it, and we do this one, this one, index 0 of 2. Whoa, set mesh runtime node index 0 of 4. Yeah, not too sure about that one. But then we do this one, we got it from the cache. Then we try and generate this one. That works. Then we try and generate this one, but that fails. Because why? Is this the only cache? Yeah, okay, so something is probably wrong with... Yes, of course. I know what's wrong. We never fixed the cache thing. So yeah, we're gonna fix that. CodeCube, I moved the code previous to the center since I jap about it more, so that's something, I guess. That's definitely something. Okay, beautiful. I know exactly why we got this issue and how to fix it. So the issue is... I should have finished the full to-do before we continued. But the issue is that we try to get the slice result, the dynamic mesh slicer result from the cache, but we have not set... we only set the first value of the output, not the second one. And that was what I was talking about previously. So we're going to have to move this cache from here to down into the nodes, which I don't think... I'm not a big fan of it, but I don't see any other way to do it, because sometimes we will have a node that has 4 outputs maybe, and during a generation of it, it generates all 4 outputs. Then we want to store them instantly. We don't want to call that more times than we need to. But sometimes we will have something that, depending on what output we want, we just generate that specific output. So sometimes we just want to set parts of the cache. Sometimes we want to set the full cache for that node. I hope this makes sense. I'm barely following along, and I'm the one saying it. But this, so yesterday, at the end of yesterday's streams, or the second half of yesterday's stream, and so far today, what we have been doing is we take logic from this base class and move it into the subclasses, which I don't really like, because that means, so for every node we add, we're going to have to paste more duplicated code, basically, which sucks. But what you gonna do? What we could do also... No. We're already sending down the cache, so we might as well use it here. So this one set. Let's move it to generate output. So set mesh, generate output. I'm gonna do it like this. Before we return true, we set the value we're returning, we put it in cache, and then we return true. CodeCube, I'm considering shifting parts of my voxel generation into the grid toolkit, but does it allow for burst compiler defining it at least? Like, the thing with the graph, are we talking about the grid toolkit? What is the grid toolkit, by the way? I just need to make sure before I continue what I was about to say. What do you mean by grid toolkit? Okay, here we go. Game object instantiator. Here we want to do it like this. Dynamic mesh. Look at this, we're just copying the same code for everyone, but here it's going to be different. Here it's going to be different. Because here we want to set here I want to do this actually. Code cube, like the graph thing you're using. Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. So how this one is implemented at runtime, so the runtime version of this graph is entirely up to you. This just helps you make a editor tool pretty much. But then as for representing it at runtime, that's entirely up to you. Yeah, so here we pretty much want to do this. Let's see. And here we want to set we want to do it like this. CodeCube, thanks, much better than being gaslit by ChatGPT. And sometimes humans still prevail. Sometimes. So now we set the full cache, but look at this, like we have so many repeated lines, but yeah, it's probably okay. Let's try and run it this time around. Let's save it and let's play it. Fuck me. Do we have, is this the same issue? Yes, it is. Okay, I'm still worried about this one, index out of 4. Cube just thought of it. The graph toolkit can really help with laying out mob AI behaviors. Yeah, that's probably a perfect use case for it. It's this one that fails. But game object. Let me clear it. Need to double check. Okay, there we go. 25 game object. Or game object instantiator. We run it twice. So why the hell? We don't get the material. What? Okay. Okay, so this one worked, but this one doesn't. Material instantiator. Set mesh or set material. Set material and set mesh. It has a little bit too many indices. We're gonna check this one out, but try get. Here we generate it. So it has to be the connection that is empty, right? Why would this go? We can check it actually. We can analyze our like this. Where do we have? Ooh, what is happening here? Okay, this is not good. The fuck is this? Oh. This is our dynamic mesh slicer editor node, but maybe that's just a problem not being serializable. But let's see here. Add child runtime node, set material, this. Okay, so it's this one that's failed. So this one. Inputs 4. Yeah, that's wrong. Element node. Yeah, so we have 2 0 elements here. Okay, we need to fix this. First of all, I want to double check this one. Here, yeah, we don't, it's not serializable, so let's do that. And then I wonder, did we have, was it only the set material editor node that had too many inputs? Nah, set mesh as well. Add child as well. Fuck. Oh, is it because inputs count? CodeCube, I just checked my Unity projects folder. Apparently I have a project with 124 shaders that I haven't touched for 3 years. I'm sitting on asset store gold for 3 whole years. I can tell they are my shader graphs. They look straight out of Italian kitchen. There's so much spaghetti. Yeah, that's the backside of shader graph, I would say. It's hard to not make it look like spaghetti. But okay. We have a little bit of a mystery here. Here we define input count 2, but for some reason our inputs rose for a couple of our nodes. Insert, yeah, of course. We don't want to do insert anymore. No. Oh, do we use inputs? It's only here we insert, right? I want to double check my cache. Here we insert though. Yeah, here we're also relying on capacity. That's not good. We're gonna fix that. Okay, so when we define the size of them like this, then we don't want to do insert anymore. So now we just want to do input index is equal to connection. Okay. One sec. And then we have the insert here. I need to check content node insert. New list game object. Yeah, we want to get the output here. So we're gonna do public abstract int output count. Beautiful. Beautifully generated. And we want to remove this. Let's see here. So much like this. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, I'm a little bit slow today. There's really no reason, when we do it like this, there's no reason whatsoever to have it as a list. We're never going to change the size, so we're going to make them into arrays, and then we're going to run this. Code cube. Yeah, don't... I wonder how that works. So, people bundling their assets on Asset Store and having them pretty much permanently at 90% off. I wonder if, like, does it really work? Maybe it does. But we don't want this as a list. We want it as a array, because then we can just do... Fucking hell. Right. If this... Yo, what's up, Quincy? It's going fine. It's going fine. How about you? CodeCube, I'm not the person to put it at 90% off. I just put that in the description of a separate asset with a huge folder, honestly. I'm a normal scammer. Scammer honor and whatnot. Okay, let's see if it works now or if I messed something else up. This time we get something, but we also get an issue. Fucking hell, is it the same issue? We still have 04. That makes no sense. Did we recompile? That feels weird. We don't have insert left, do we? And it's an array now, so... Ah, but you know what? You know what? A recompile is not enough. We also need to do a rebuild. No errors. Play. No errors. And how does our game object look? Okay. It's here. It doesn't have any mesh, what I can see. We have a creature. We have a definition. We even have a child, but we don't have any meshes, do we? Selection wire. Okay, so something happens with the mesh. Why? Why? I think something is wrong with the dynamic mesh slicer, but I wonder what it could be. Now, this one we have tried multiple times. I wonder if we have an issue. Slice plane, normal, fill, slice plane, origo. Let's do 10, 10, 10. Save it and play it. Why? Dynamic mesh generator. We have a cube. Set up as cube setup. Create cube. I'm pretty sure this one works. You know what? I'm gonna try. Let's quit this. And let's just do this one to here and this one to here. Let's bypass dynamic mesh slicer for now. Save. Play. Here we go. So here we have, yeah, we generate 2 cubes. Is it the same mesh? I think it is. Okay, so this works. So the problem is with our slicer. But why? Can I do Control Z here? Yes, I can. That's beautiful. Save. Okay, so something is wrong with this one. Dynamic mesh slice editor node. I want to check. Let's save it. Let's take a look at the input here. Oh, I might know. let's see here. Dynamic mesh slicer runtime node. I might know. Ah, we do serialize this one. But why can't I see it? Here. Oh, one sec. Slice plane. Serialize reference. Let's go to the plane real quick. Serializable, okay. I'm wondering if the plane setup is not stored. There's a lot of okay, that's not it. Let's see how it looks now. Dynamic mesh slicer runtime inputs. I want to see this plane, so we're gonna do using editor extensions and abstract selectable. Oh, it's a value type. Okay, yeah, okay. Whoa, one sec. It's a value type. Oh, I didn't know that. We're gonna have to change it from a value type eventually. Let's see. Sten. Here we have slice, plane, origin, normal. Okay, now it might work. Whoa. We get something. And okay, this sucks. We get the same slice for both of these. That doesn't make sense. Unless I fucked up somewhere, which I probably did. We're gonna go back first of all, and we're gonna change this one to 111 again. Save, play. Just want to see how this looks. Do we fill it? No, we don't. We don't even fill it. Okay, so we have two wrongs here. Private bool fill. Do we need to? Okay. Now we fill it. That's good. But we fill it the wrong way. What the fuck? Code is it just me who has had code work one night, but the next morning it doesn't? I swear it was working perfectly yesterday. Happens all the time. Like this slicing, for instance, we have tested it so many times, but this time around, for some reason, it doesn't work. Okay, let's worry about the other thing first. So we should get a positive mesh and a negative mesh. We only get a positive one for some reason. So dynamic mesh slice runtime, we have positive, we have negative. If output index, and we set them here, value positive, value negative, different indices. Is my plane fucked up? Yo, what's up, Antonino? Another unlucky day today. Alternator and bell broke on my car while I was on my way to work. Now I'm home working. Damn, I'm sorry to hear, man. Fucking cars. Or should I say car trouble? CodeCube, screw it, I'm deleting the library and logs folder. They should regenerate. That's like a last resort kind of thing. Have I fucked up with my get here? Index? I don't think so. But yes, output index. Try get output index. Yeah, it should be like this. Connection. Antonina, how's your day going? It's going pretty good. It's going good. Thanks for asking. Yeah, let's clear this and let's play it again. I want to see one thing. Got game dynamic slicer runtime node output from cache. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Here we try to get output 0 of 1. Dynamics. Ooh, that explains it. So we get the same value. Why do we get the same value? Did I fuck up when I create the connections? It definitely looks like it. Exporter, input index. Where do we have our connection? No. This should be correct. Runtime node, and then we get the next nodes. Try get output. This one is wrong. We get the wrong output here for some reason. Dynamic mesh to mesh. The fuck? What the fuck? This is wrong, isn't it? Maybe. Try get input. Now try get input index, inputs input index. Now this one should be okay. And then we do get value. This index is wrong for some reason. CodeCube and Antonino, you, if you want to, you can talk in chat. It's fine, as long as we keep it civil, you know. But I'm also fine if you want to bring it private. Just so you know, just so you know. Okay, so the message we got makes me think that something is wrong here, but it doesn't make much sense to me. Honestly, I here should be input port. Unless... let's double check actually. We have a nice log here, so I want to see... setting up dynamic mesh slicer runtime node, setting up output 0 to 0. This one is fine. And then output 1 to input 0. That is correct. And we do I here, which we use to create the connection. So that's actually correct. Unless... oh, I really need to get... I need to get the hang of this. So when we save this as a scriptable object, every field we want to be stored, we actually need to do serialize field or serialize reference. This is like the third bug today for this very reason. And we had a few yesterday as well, I reckon. Okay, here we have our creature. It looks like one cube, but it's actually two cubes. One is a child object of the other. So what I'm wondering now is why the fuck doesn't our slice work here? That's the next interesting part. I was pretty sure we had slicer under control, but apparently no. So fill cap is one that fails. And I also wonder why we get... Oh yeah, we fill it this way. Okay. Code Cube, that summarizes pretty good. Quote, I love that this community exists to the point where a guy from Romania in Canada is talking to an Italian guy about life, all while listening to a Swedish guy code. Yeah, internet is fucking beautiful. Code Cube, are you triangulating your meshes on purpose? Yes, we are. We did some robust testing. We have a slice system which tested fine. We tested it multiple times. But now we still get something like this. Where to even begin? I'm gonna assume that nothing is wrong with the actual... So this error we get is not because of the graph implementations we have done, but probably in the slice method here. I wonder, do we still have... No, we don't have our tester around. Triangulate from center. What have I done? And also, okay, I see a few things here. When we slice this one like this, we shouldn't be getting these. Or I guess that depends on how the original mesh looks. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't look like this. So let's do... No, we have... Ah, okay, never mind, never mind. Yeah, then we slice it here, we get these and these. Okay, yeah. Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. Why do we just go half here? When we triangulate from center, vertex in vertices, we... yeah, we alter the normal and then we do triangulate from center, create average vertex, then we sort them, and we compare. Is this... Oh! Oh, could it be? I don't think so. Okay, we're gonna have to do some tests here, I reckon. Antonino, I know that in your head all the code already is, but have you ever thought about commenting the code? Quite a lot, but like I try to... I try to write it in such a way that a comment would be... that commenting is unnecessary, but that's like... that's not gonna happen, you know? Like what I'm trying to say is I try to write my code explicit enough that commenting it would be unnecessary. Like I don't really know. Commenting methods maybe, but triangulate from center and it takes a list of vertices. It's pretty... I don't know. Yeah, maybe I should. CodeCube, maybe it's trying to triangulate then slice. Maybe the normals are wrong in some triangles and it's giving them to the other mesh. No. So the slice... we had the slicing working. We're gonna do some tests on the slicing, but pretty much like we slice for each triangle in a mesh. We check if it's intersecting the plane, if it does, and we sort them based on if it does or doesn't, and then we recalculate new vertices for each edge that is intersecting with the slice plane. And then we take all of those vertices and we create, or we fill them basically. Okay. How do I want to begin to solve this or get to the root of the problem here? You know what? One sec. There we go. The normals are wrong on one half of the cap, yes. Which is weird, because we set the normal here. But that means that triangulate from center, override normal, vertices are altered, we override the normals, then we do triangulate from center. Yeah, okay, so the winding order is wrong, and that's because our sorting algorithm here is wrong, because this one. Maybe use something equal to binormal tangent instead. Yes. Okay, finally. Because our plane and normal is equal to forward. Okay. Okay, so how do I want to... So the thing is, when we build up the cap for these, we basically have this vertex, this vertex, this vertex, a few on this edge, and these. And then we want to go through them in the direction of the clock and just add triangles. And to do that, we need to sort them, and we sort them based on this, but the compare angle is the forward angle, and that's what makes the winding order of some of these triangles wrong. So we definitely need to use something different here. We're basically we're calculating a vertex. So when we sort it, we take this position, or we create a vertex from this point to this, and from this point to this point. So we have two vertices. And then we want to check. Shouldn't we just check with the normal, actually? I mean, we could center vertex normal. Whoa, one sec. I think we want to do... Don't we have math extension? Random Gaussian. Don't we have vector extension? Approximately truncate. I thought we had... Maybe Unity has. Okay, what I want to try here is we want to do math, util math. I want to do something very similar to generate tangent or generate normal. I want this. Public static generates tangent. This vector 3 normal, or isn't it this? Yeah. Vector 3. So this is what I want. Let's try this, see if it works. So instead of just doing vector 3 forward here, we do extensions. Oh, it's a vertex. Get the fuck out. Epsilon. Maybe. Yeah, let's just try if this works. Okay, nice. Ooh. Let's go through it real quick soon. Let's say small update on Array Marcher from CodeCube. If anybody accept me, okay. Yeah. I made shadows with polygonal non-voxel objects work so that entities don't have to be voxelized. Yeah, I'm interested in that. Like, I've been thinking about... I've been wanting to do, like, some sort of shadow system, or implement some sort of shadow system. So I've been starting to think about that, and I always wondered, like, how shadows are handled in, like, a voxel engine. Yeah, Antonino, guys, I'm going to go for now. We'll talk later if necessary. Have a great rest of the day, Antonino. Hope it gets better from here on out. And thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. But okay, so now when we triangulate these caps here, we generate a middle vertex, and this one we just take the average of all the vertices normal, and that's the normal of that one. And previously we compared with, we just took vector 3, what is it, vector forward in world space, and that was our compare vector when we sorted them. That didn't work, so now we do it with this instead. And here we have it. Fucking hell. We now have added a few new graph nodes. We now know that we can support multiple outputs. Haven't checked inputs just yet. It works in the editor, it works at runtime. And we fixed an issue with slicing. So now comes the boring part of committing this. Robin, doing ray traced shadows for polygons aren't worth it. For it to work, you need to check every single triangle millions of times since it's per pixel. Yeah. But. Don't you have ray traced shadows in when you do ray tracing in games these days? That's what I thought, at least. Okay, so let's commit all of this. CodeCube voxel shadows are easy since you can easily check boxes, and you can group voxels into 2 times 2 cubes, then those groups into 2x2 cubes. Yeah. Okay, so let's commit a few things before we continue. First of all, I want to commit the vector extensions and then the fix for my dynamic mesh, or it's actually triangle here. So we can remove this one as well. So let's start by committing this one. And where do we have it? Triangle primitives. There. Do I still have an open issue related to this? I don't think so. Let's see here. Fix sorting issue in triangulate from center. Related to 207. Okay, so now I want to commit this, and let's see here. None of the new nodes, that's for sure. Did we actually not change anything in gen? Yeah, we changed this one, that's true. And this, yeah. And then we changed a lot of stuff here. Let's see, code cube plus voxels in some stage are an array, and trying to multiply that array by 8 for 8 verts per cube is really expensive. Yeah. I can imagine. But like, I'm wondering if would there be some way to, I don't know, represent the world as voxels just to do shadow calculations, even though the world is not voxels, if you know what I mean. But that would yeah, that's just probably not possible. Best case scenario, you would get really blocky shadows as well. But then maybe okay, let's see, commit this here. Node system. I'm just trying to commit or sort out the correct nodes. And I also want to see if we're having some leftover comments. Let's see here. Alterers is new. New. Okay, I think I have it here. Let's just double check if we have some. Okay, yeah, let's commit this. This one solves this. Pretty happy with that. What is it? 210. Let's see, Code Cube, since I want the player to see up to 1.5 kilometers and the world is 512 meters high, so that is 3.6 megabyte of world loaded in. Ray marching through the data saves a lot of performance. 3.6 gigabyte, okay. Then you output the data into octrees and it's really lag-free. Octrees keep close voxels close in memory, and you get to avoid chunking, which means instead of like 500 calls of one function to generate the blocks arrays, you do one, saving compute shader performance. I like doing this because it's niche and makes me sound like I know everything when I know absolutely nothing. Definitely does. But I've been meaning to ask, have you managed to up the FPS since last time? Was it 83 you managed to get? You need 90. This one is going to be the next hard thing to solve. I have no doubt that we will manage it eventually. But let's see here, we have a few nodes to add. So let's add dynamic mesh slicer editor node and dynamic mesh slicer runtime node. Okay, back. Sorry about that. Let's see. Where were I? Dynamic mesh slicer node related to 210. And then we actually have something I haven't added here yet. Add child, I think we called it. Yes. One sec, did I wonder if I screwed up something? Let's see. Okay, beautiful. We're back. Okay. Code cube depth testing alone is reaching 134, and with shadows enabled, I'm getting 73. Okay. Code cube also made a custom collider system integrated with Unity physics. How did you go about doing that? I've been wanting to do a custom collider myself. Actually, a custom height map collider. Okay, I definitely won't have the time to do repeatable nodes today, so that is going to be for tomorrow. But we can do some dynamic mesh to collider. Right, then we want to simplify it, right? Set collider. Dynamic mesh to collider. Maybe we can do it so we keep Fuck, how did I do this previously? With the previous solution, where do we have that? Modules. Generation module collider. Oh, we just added box collider. And then get bounds, okay. Yeah, we want to be a little bit more specific or detailed this time around. I'm wondering if... Yeah, we want to be able to get a dynamic mesh. Should be able to return... It should be able to return a simplified collider, which is pretty much just going to be a box collider, bounds. But it should also be able to return a detailed collider, which is going to be a mesh collider based on the mesh we have. But then again... probably going to have quite a lot of vertices eventually. Do we have bounds on mesh? Yeah, we do. Axis aligned. Code cube, it checks the 3x3 area under it if there's... Oh yeah, okay, I get it. Okay, yeah, I don't want to convert it to mesh just to make it into a collider or get the bounds. Should be able to get the bounds some other way, I think. Yeah, we can just run through the vertices real quick. Okay, so get mesh public. Do I have an issue related to this? Okay, let's create one real quick. I want to extend dynamic mesh width. colliders. Cool Cube Robin, I'm working on getting my ray tracing production ready, and that involves a lot of testing. Do you think you would benefit from ray traced shadows? It can get laggy if you... not for this project, I don't think so. But if you get it into a neat little nice package, I might be willing to try it if I find the time. This task should be easy and quick to fix, but um, for the cube, the only thing you need to add to your side shading is an input for screen space UVs and get the shader to sample. Okay, screen space UVs we already have, I think. Get mesh, get collider. Wait, is collider mono behavior, by the way? It is, isn't it? Inherits from component. Okay. Still, Hmm. Oh, fucking hell, that's true. Maybe we don't... Okay, okay. I'm gonna have to... Don't we have bounds? Okay, we don't have bounds. Never mind. I was a little bit too quick here. We want to extend it with a get bounds method. That's pretty much all we want. And yeah. Yeah, I screwed up. Okay. And this is a very simple issue. This time. As opposed to us getting a collider. Yeah, converting it from bounds to collider or mesh to collider, we're gonna handle that in set collider in the runtime node here, I think. We're gonna change this one to get bounds, and the only thing we need to do here is we'll need to loop through each of the vertices, find max x, max y, max z, and min x, min y, min z, I think. Right. Yeah, and then when we have those, we just do yeah, we might need center as well. But that's just adding them all and dividing by the number. Size, however, yeah, here we want to find min and max. So I guess it's we want to do it like this. But the other way around. Isn't this just what we want to do? Xmin. Oh, can't we do it like this? Right, it should be something like this, but code cube, yeah, that's like how it is with commercial. Okay, this method we're gonna have to try it tomorrow because unfortunately I need to run now. But still happy with today, productive. Hopefully we can be as productive tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I appreciate it, and good luck with all of your projects, and see you tomorrow, hopefully. Peace.